Greetings. My name is Marcus Dumas, and I'm an instructor at the University of Georgia's College of Public Health in the Department of Health Promotion and Behavior. And today I present to you my presentation, Urban Youth's Sexual Health Advice Network, where we're going to take a look at the preferred traits and characteristics of sources. So as we think about the problem that lies around sexual health education, we see that there are numerous disparities related to adolescent health behavior and outcomes. When we think about ethnic minorities or adolescents, we see that especially those living in urban areas that are at higher risk of sexual health disparities. Sexual minorities who are adolescents are at greater risk for sexual transmitted diseases and infections because of their sexual behavior. And then adolescents who are living in urban communities are more likely to have sexual health challenges, including STI diagnosis and unwanted pregnancy. We see some of the key factors related to this is adolescents. They're in a period where they're experiencing many types of changes and they're relying on a variety of information sources while there's no consensus of high school students' information needs. And so we benefit by understanding their perceived educational needs and informational sources. So for this study, we actually looked at some important source characteristics according to young people, and we looked at it according to what they thought were important characteristics related to common topics that you'll find in sexual health education curriculum across the United States. And so as we look at it, the highest proportion when it relates to the preferred or important characteristics across all 7 sexual health topics was same sex. And we see when we average it out, it was about 17.4%, while the lowest proportion were individuals who were religious figures. Now, also we had some other low proportion particular characteristics. They had single digits. And so those are things such as being related to the young person, also those living with the young person, those who are the same race as the young person, and then those who are in the field of education. Now, when we did something similar and looked at important source traits, we saw that there were 3 areas that had the highest proportion, and that included sources who didn't judge the young person, those who they considered they could trust, and those who were open and honest with the young person related to these particular topics. While the lowest proportions of important traits by sexual health topics were they had developed a relationship with the young person, and then also that they had a sense of humor as it related to those topics that they were discussing with the young people. Now, as we end this, we have to think, what are some recommendations? What do we learn from the research? Well, from previous research, we know that sexual health education is important for promoting well-informed sexual health decision-making. And so we begin to think about, well, how do we ensure the curriculum is addressing the young people's needs? And so we could think about how source traits and characteristics may play a role in this particular addressing of the young people's needs, but also seeing how health topics may yield different preferred traits and characteristics. Now, as far as it relates to next steps with the research, it's important to understand not just who would be the best source of information for the young people, but digging a little bit deeper and understanding the why. And so that comes from allowing young people a seat at the table as the curriculum is being developed in future years to come. And really having deep discussion about their preferred sources of information, and then also understanding why these are preferred. And then also thinking about how we create professional development training for those preferred sources. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my presentation, and I hope you have a great remainder of your experience with this year's conference. Thank you so much.